Devotion Ministries.
You need devotion. You need devotion.
For the Bible records in Ephesians, the 4th chapter and the 11th verse, that he gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors, and some teachers for the perfecting of the saints. He, the same he that gave us the sun, the moon, and even the stars, the same he who scooped down on both knees and formed man out of the dust of the ground, the same he who manifested himself in flesh, came down 42 generations through the Virgin Mary, produced hope for those who were hopeless, who healed the sick and gave sight to the blind. That he thought it not robbery to assist in this ministry, to give not just 5 positions, but 5 personalities: the apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, the pastor, and even the teacher. Let's talk about these things. The apostle, first point, his job is to establish. He says to his disciples, as they have transitioned from learners to leaders, he says in Matthew 28, go ye therefore. I need you to teach, I need you to baptize, and I need you to make what you once were, disciples. The job of an apostle is to establish the church. He says to the prophet, come here. I want you to, watch this, edify the church. For the Bible says, for all do not speak in tongues, but I rather that ye prophesy. Because he who speaks in tongues edifies himself, but he who prophesies edifies the church. The job of the prophet is to edify by using a direct word from God that will change current situations. Then he says to the evangelist that your job is to, watch this, encourage. We all are ministers of the gospel. The role of an evangelist is to always have, watch this, a word of encouragement. For the Bible says that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for I have been anointed to preach good tidings. It's not the evangelist's job to come into the church and rebuke and preach fire and brimstone. It's your job to bring good tidings, to talk about the good news, which is the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Then he trusts the pastors. He said, your job is to empower. And the only way you can empower, watch this, is if you dwell with the sheep. No other position has the responsibility of the pastor. The pastor has to counsel. The pastor has to preach. The pastor has to be the janitor sometimes. The pastor has to marry and bury. The pastor has to do all of these things in a personal place. But last but not least, the least popular of them all, the teacher. I can't recount one time somebody said, God called me to be a teacher. Everybody wants everything else. But the teacher's job is to educate. We need people who will study to show thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. It is our job as we sit in the pulpit, looking all nice and looking all entitled and looking all powerful. It is our job to remember that we are all just playing a role in the perfecting of the church. It's not our church. It's the church that belongs to God. It's his bride. Our job is to help establish it, help edify it, help encourage it, help empower it, and help educate it. After all, we are his gift.